Hello, everyone. I remembered to unmute the mic this time because this is a serious presentation. How's the audio? Can someone please let me know? I'm doing that fun thing again where I have to have the chat open on a laptop in my lab. Hello, Asuzu, Arashi, Juniper, Subtle, Silver, Kamui, Sunset, Boxing, Fox, Clipsy, Virtual Reverie, Dragus, Asuzu again, Seirena, Len, Nakami Jun, all of you. Wow, there's a lot of people in here. Maybe I should just stop playing video games and just do business tutorials. Levia, Hapa-chan, Marino, Amy Sensei, Millie, everyone. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is going to be I'm going to teach you how to do a Twitter deep dive. And for those of you who might recognize that term, this is the Twitter deep dive that I offer as part of my marketing consultations. I'm not going to tell you everything or else Jusagi will go out of business. We are a consultation company after all. But I'll teach you the important parts, and then you can do it on your own. So that's the first thing. I'll go through it step by step, how to pull your data, how to use a pivot table, how to understand the data, and the steps before you can start answering important questions for yourself. Then after that's all done, I have a homework assignment for you, a homework assignment for everyone in the chat, and as well, I have a couple of questions from the Curious Cat that people ask me. So we'll go through the questions, and then we'll see where we're at with time. And if it's still pretty early, I probably will still have lots of time. We'll play some GeoGuessr, or we'll play whatever it is you want, or I'll answer more questions. Whatever. This will be a fun time. Let's see. The elevator was super high, but your voice is great. You brought my diving suit. Hello, Bun. Hey, Cab. Hey, Grave. Pivot tables, that's right. Konbanwa. I can't read kanji, Akami, but good evening to you as well. 42, my goodness. Okay, so let's get right into it. And I didn't do very much planning for this. Well, I did, but not as much as I normally do because we're going to be building stuff live. So just give me a second here while I get set up. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat, and I'll try my best to answer them. But I'll also be specifically asking for questions near the end as well, so I can go and answer everything. I'll probably check for questions at the end of every step, so everyone has an idea of how to do everything. Right? Does that make sense? All right. Why is this locked? Stop that. There we go. Ooh, I need to turn that off. There we go. And all right. So the very first step for everyone is something called analytics.twitter.com. Everyone knows about analytics.twitter.com, or you should know about analytics.twitter.com. That's a free tool that Twitter provides that allows you to look at all your tweets, right? So you can see your top tweet here, you can see your top mention, you can see who your top follower is, your top media tweet, some general stats. This is pretty basic stuff. Not a lot of people know about it, but you should. It's free. You can see your highlights in December or previous months. This account was only created in December, so I have December and I have January, so that's pretty basic. Yeah, you can go under more on Twitter. I forgot to get water. Oh, already scuffed. I'll get water later. And then to get to the meat of things, you go to the tweets button up here. So here you can see your Twitter activity, right? You can see your recent tweets as well as how well your tweets did. You look at your recent tweets, they don't really have that many stats because it's brand new, right? It's brand new. You got to give it some time. So looking at your top tweets, you can see Networking threads, pretty good. Networking threads are pretty great in terms of stats, I guess. So look at your top tweets, and you can kind of tell which of your tweets do better. But this is just, you're just kind of looking at, you're just eyeballing things, right? That's not really data-driven analysis. You're just kind of looking. And this is usually where people stop. They get to here, and they think, okay, these type of tweets do well, I'll do more of these tweets. And that's fine. That's good stuff. Go hydrate now? Okay, all right, let me get hydrated. I'll be right back. Yes, so Dragos is right. You can also click on the little graph chart underneath any of your tweets to get a quick breakdown of that tweet. Let's see what else anyone says. You know, surprisingly, I don't actually play Eve. I feel like I would enjoy it because it's all spreadsheets, but never tried it. Fox. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this is the gist of it, right? This is the bare bones of the data you need. So let me teach you the next step, and this is important. So what I want you to do is you go here, you choose the last 28 days, or I guess since we're at the end of January, we can just do all of January, right? Then you export data by tweet, okay? You export data by tweet. Make sense? So now what you should do is you go to Google Drive, or you go to like Google Sheets, really. So make new Google Sheets. Oh, don't look at all that. And then you can go to File, Import, and you import that file you just uploaded. Love you too. Hello, Celeste. Hello, everyone. So you upload that file into here, right? It's a CSV file. It'll take a little while to process, but once it's done, you put that into the Excel sheet, right? And when that's done, that will look like this. It's a lot of nonsense. It's a lot of stuff here. So you have to make sense of this, right? So let's go through these columns, and we'll go through the ones that are important. Tweet ID, that means nothing. That's unimportant. The tweet permalink, that's the link to your actual tweet. That's important. The tweet text, that's important. Time is kind of important, but we have to make it work a little bit. Impressions are important. So an impression is how many times your tweet was seen. Not how many times people clicked it, not how many times a unique person saw it, just how many times your tweet showed up. The higher your impressions are, the higher your engagements are. So engagements are any of these things, right? A retweet, a reply, a like, someone clicking on your profile, someone clicking on a link, someone clicking on a hashtag, all this other stuff that clearly a lot of this doesn't really matter. The engagements you really want usually are retweets, replies, and likes. Okay? It's a lot of data, but I'll teach you how to use it. So if you remember my tweet when I started this, one of the main reasons I do this is to show you what types of tweets are actually successful for you. Are PNG drops successful? When you post memes, is that successful? When you do shout-out posts for other people, when you do networking threads, what's successful and what isn't? Because if you don't know, how will you know what kind of tweets you need to make to get popular, right? What tweets do your fans actually like? that's the whole purpose of this. And we're going to go through that step by step by going through this data. So first of all, you go to this top left here. You pull that down. That just locks in the header, right? So you can scroll through here and the header stays at the top. Very important. I tweet a lot. I tweet a lot. A lot. I just broke 5,000. Wow. 5,000 tweets this month. Nice. So next step, you want to find your top tweets. You want to find your top tweets. Is everything still working? Yeah, everything's still working. So you go to column E, which should be impressions, and you click on this little arrow here. Sort Z to A. So now, if we did that correctly, you now have all of your tweets from the most popular down to less popular tweets. And that's basically the same as what we were looking at here, but now it's in spreadsheet form. Oh, how do you lock the header? Okay, so you see this little gray bar here at the top left corner? You can drag that. Oops. You could. There you go. So you can drag this header around. So you drag it. This is where it starts in the top left corner. You drag it down one. So that locks in the first row. Yeah, the download of the CSV takes a while, especially if you have a lot of tweets like I do. So just you don't need to follow along with me right now. The VOD is up. I'm not going to take it down. Why would I take it down? So you can just follow along and just take notes now, honestly. So now you have your top tweets by impressions, right? So here's my next step here. I add a row. Right now the text is cutting off, so I'm going to highlight this column, and I'm going to make it so it wraps, so it all just locks into one column, so it doesn't cover my my new column here. So what I do is called tweet type, and for any of you who have actually gone through my marketing consultations, this will be very familiar to you because this is what I do to all of your data, right? I go through and I label each of these tweets. So this is a networking tweet. This is a networking tweet. All my top ones are networking tweets. Is that a surprise? No. This is a VTuber uprising tweet. Actually, well, technically it's a Jusagi thought, which is what I've been doing more recently. This is a networking tweet, and so on and so on and so on. So go through your top. I usually do 75. In this case, because we're doing a special thing, we're doing a special, for the stream, I did 100 actually. So if you look over here, this is my modified data. I did the first 100 tweets or so, yeah. And you might think, okay, what do I label them? How do you know what to label them? It's up to you. You can label them as, specific or as broad as you want to. This is your data. You can do whatever you want, right? So let's say maybe you wanted, let's see, because I have a on Sundays I have a small networking thread for people under 250, and on Thursdays I have a big networking thread. So I could separate that into small and large, but I don't care. I don't really care. So I just call them all networking. But you could do that, right? Some other ones I use. There was a while when I purged all my followers. All my ones related to purge, I've marked purge. Marketing exercises, tag memes, PNG drops, videos. One really important one that you should absolutely track down. I don't know if I can find one here. Self-promo. When you're going live, when you're talking about your streams, you absolutely need to mark your self-promo tweet, because that's going to be super important. So I've also added a couple of new columns here, and these are the columns I'm keeping secret. Oh no, never mind. I haven't done that. I've kept them completely secret, but I'll show you what I can do with it later on. Okay, so once you've done enough of these, like 75 to 100 or whatever amount you want, the more you do, the more data you'll get. So it's really a matter of how much work you want to do. Normally, when I'm doing a client, or a client, as in like one of you guys, if the impressions drop down to like 200 or 100, I kind of stop because those are already so small. You're not going to get much data out of it. So, does anyone have any questions so far? Am I going too fast? Please let me know. I'll take a second and drink some water. How do we download all of our impressions? Okay, so we'll go back here. Oops, I hit refresh. You go to analytics.twitter.com. You go to tweets. You choose your date range here. Then you export data by tweet. Going great. Everything's going good. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. And then you upload that into a Google spreadsheet. Hello, Momoka. Okay, so next step. This is the magic. This is the pivot table magic. How do pivot tables work? I don't know. Witchcraft? Pretty sure it's just witchcraft. So hit Control A. You copy the entire spreadsheet. Okay. Then you go to Data, Pivot Table. Create pivot table to a new sheet. So, ta-da! Okay, you're trying to add a new column. Okay, so what you do is you highlight the column, you right-click it, and you insert one left or one right. Impressions are whenever anyone sees your tweet. So let's say if I see your tweet 3 times throughout the day, that counts as 3 impressions, even though it's the same person seeing it 3 times. No, Jusagi is not a witch. Ellie is a witch. Ellie is responsible for all this. Okay. All right, no more questions. Whoop, don't look at that yet. Okay, so we have our pivot table here. So a pivot table, you can sort things by rows and then values. So basically what you can do, it might be easier if I just show you and try to explain it, because I don't really know how to explain it. So tweet type. Now I have all my tweet types for all the tweets that I just went through and sorted here on the left column. And I choose the value and I set it to impressions. So now, right now, for each tweet type, I have the total number of impressions for each tweet type. So let's think about that for a second. Let's think about what I just... Oh, my screen turned off, this stupid laptop. Hold on. Okay, so so that means look at business tips. There's 4,988 impressions for my business tips. So what does that mean? That means for all the different business tips I have tweeted, in total, they have gathered 4,000, or they have been seen 4,988 times in total. Okay. Community questions have been seen this many times. Networking threads have been seen 200,000 times, which is insane. But these are just in total. So that, because they're a total, that doesn't really help us all that much. Because that's like, I could have just made if I had 4,900 business tip impressions, I could have just tweeted 4,000 times and each of them got like 1 or 2 impressions. That's not very helpful. So what will be helpful is changing it to average. So on the right side here, you go to impressions, summarized by sum, switch that to average. So now, the average is 4,988. So now, all of these are the average amount. For the average meme, I'm getting 3,915 impressions. Yeah, that's right. For the average picrew, I'm getting 2,990. Does that make sense? You have all this extra data here, right? Because these are the ones you didn't label. So let's you know what? Before I do that, let's see if I have any questions, because this is kind of complicated. Yeah, you are in class. The class is now in session, man. Hey, Sensei, welcome. All right, well, I'll keep scanning for questions. Otherwise, I'll keep going slowly. Right now, there's a whole bunch of tweets that are unlabeled, right? Those are the other, for me, that's the other 4,900 tweets I'm not going to go through and label because that's way too much work. The majority of them are replies, and I don't care about replies. So you go to filters, tweet type, and I want to turn off blanks. Okay? So now, if it doesn't have a tweet type, it doesn't get added to the table. Here, we'll change this to the average impressions. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. How did you switch from sum to average? Okay, so when you're clicking on the table, here, impressions, average impressions, summarized by average, you can choose what you want to summarize by. There's a couple of these we use. There's a couple of, like, if you want standard deviation, I don't know why you would ever want that, but you could. Or product. I think that would make my numbers explode if I tried that. Yeah, that's a stupid thing to do. We are not doing that. So it defaults to sum, set it to impressions. I don't want decimals because that's not helpful to me. So we'll lower our counts. There we go. So now these are whole numbers. Yes, we will have a VOD. So this is what I want to explain is don't try to do this right now on your own because you can't keep up. You got to label all your tweets. It's not going to happen. The VOD is going to be up. Go back and watch the VOD. Just watch and try to understand and ask questions. And ask questions if you have any. Okay? So now we have the average impressions. And what we can do is we can sort by average impressions. So right now, you look at the rows. The order is how the table is sorted. So I don't want to sort by tweet type. Right now it's sorting by alphabetical order, which is pointless. That's stupid. I want to sort by average impressions, descending. Now, on average, networking gets me the most impressions. Tag memes, surprisingly popular. Jusagi thoughts are really popular. I didn't expect that. Marketing exercise is pretty good. And when I talk about Generation 1, when I purge my follower list, then PNG drops, videos, collabs, blah, 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 blah. And self-promo is right at the bottom. And that's not surprising. Self-promo loses to replies, which is pretty bad. And we'll talk about that in the future, about the dangers of self-promo. Oh, I forgot. Gotta feed my cat. I'll do that in a second. So, even with that much, you can highlight this. And you can insert chart. And then you can have this data. If you don't like looking at numbers, just cover up the numbers. The numbers don't matter. The points don't matter. I should do more networking threads. If impressions were the only thing I cared about, I should do more networking threads. This is what the data tells me. I should, the crews, while they're fun, they don't really get that many impressions. Same with a couple of these other ones. They're not that popular. But these are the things I should focus more on the left, and these are the things I should focus a little bit less on the right. But you can't really tell that just from impressions. You cannot make that assertion because impressions can be filtered by anything, right? The more followers I have, the more impressions I get. So this is not super useful. Well, maybe it's not super useful, but it's kind of misleading. So let's talk about something that's a little bit more accurate. Feed the cat. Okay, I'll feed the cat. I'll be right back. I'll let you guys noodle on that. Let's see. Everyone's talking about noodles for some reason. Oh, because I said noodle. Okay. Kairu, you are absolutely right. Looking at this, the purge was a one-time thing. I'm not going to make more purge tweets. It's more informational, right? And you're right. Numbers, networking is an outlier. When I'm trying to do this data for real, and I'm trying to figure out what type of things to tweet, I'm going to exclude networking tweets because it's I post the same thing twice a week. It doesn't count, basically. Daily purge, only the strongest survive. That's awful. Okay. Good news for Jusagi thoughts. Yeah, I know. That's real. That makes me happy because I love doing Jusagi thoughts. They're almost like mini essays, or like I just talk a lot about what I think about marketing or like current events in the VTuber sphere. I really enjoy writing those, and people seem to like them. Okay, so let's move on to something a little bit more important. Engagements. I put that in the wrong spot. Okay, so if you see that, just delete it. I did that incorrectly. You want to put that under values. So values, engagements. Right now, it starts at sum, so we got to do the same thing we did last time. Average. Get rid of the decimals. No decimals, please. Nope. And then average engagements. So remember, an engagement is whether if they like, reply, retweet, or click on any part of your tweet, or they expand the picture, that counts as an engagement. I don't care if they expand the picture. That means nothing to me. I care about how many replies, retweets, and likes I get. So this data is a little bit better in terms of telling me what type of information I want to look for, but it's still not the best. So let's see if we look at this again and we insert a chart. Oops, I didn't sort it. Hold on. I have to sort by average engagements. There we go. So if we look at this, stupid laptop shut off again. I hate stupid power settings. Hello, Chris. Hello, everyone. Do you think it's a good idea to separate self-promo from going live tweets? Up to you. And in a general, like, you don't want things to be so granular where there's only one or two things each, right? You want to try to have a category, but that's really up to you and your own data. So looking at engagements, networking's still number one, most popular, obviously. PNG drops are really good. Purge is good. Polls are pretty good. The circle meme, the chirpty where you have your three like circles. I gotta do one of those again. Those are pretty fun. Generation 1, blah 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 blah. Self promo still near the bottom. The crews are a bit higher though. This is a little bit better of an indicator of what people want to see. This is what people want to look at. So if you want to look at percentages, go back here, you can see that engagement rate, this magical engagement rate here, and that is literally the same as this. They give you the sum of engagement rate, which is stupid. You don't want to add that. You want to get an average. These numbers here will never exactly match up to these numbers here because we're doing an average. So don't worry too much about it. I would trust these numbers more, honestly. Average engagement rate. And because it's a percentage, let's hit the percent sign. Now, sort by average engagement rate. There we go. Let's see. Your tab category is basically replies. Not that uncommon. I've seen a lot of people, new VTubers, have that same issue where replies are their highest impressions. That means they have to think of more content to, just in general, right? You got to make people care about your account besides just one-on-one conversations, which are still important. So if we're looking at engagement rates, polls are high engagement, and that. Oh wait, what the heck? Oh, that's why. That's why. Why are they all 0? Because these screwed up. You can't just move these around all that much. There we go. Okay, so polls are the highest engagement rate because when someone clicks on a poll, that counts as an engagement. So obviously that makes sense, right? Circle memes and photos also make sense because whenever you get one of those circle memes, everyone wants to click and open the circle to see where they are. So that's why that engagement rate is high. But what if I don't care about that? I don't care about people clicking the picture to my circle tweet. That doesn't tell me anything, right? So we got to find true engagement rate, and this is a much scarier number. Let's get this going. Before I go any further, anyone have any questions? I'm going to remove these and just keep the impressions here. Switch these back to number. Oops. Numbers, no decimals. So, good old YouTube delay. There must be a law delay, or no one is just saying anything. Well, that's fine. I'll keep going. Are engagement sites reliable when you want to find your own numbers? What do you mean engagement sites? I'm not sure what you mean by engagement sites, Chris, so let me know what you mean by that. Okay, so in order to find your true engagement rate, you want to go to values, you want to add retweets, you want to add replies, you want to add likes. Like sites that show your data. Honestly, I do have a couple that aggregate it, but I like using this one because it's just Twitter. Doing this is the most accurate way of finding the right information. Sometimes you can't trust anyone else. You got to do it on your own. These are all sum, which means we have to switch them all to average. Average, average, average. Average retweets, average replies, average likes. Let's get that sorted. Is it better to start fresh or to use an existing account for new engagements? Honestly, I thought about that because I have my own account, my old account before, but I thought it was better to make a new account because it's all about branding, right? Unless you have people who are already fans of you because of you and not because of your character. If all of a sudden, if I had my regular account and then, oops, I'm suddenly an anime girl, a lot of people it would just hurt my engagement rate because they wouldn't care about me, right? I started fresh, but that's a personal choice. Social Blade is fine. I just use it for followers, honestly. Let's see. Can I get by without impressions, but instead replies, likes, and retweets? API says impressions are non-public. I don't know why impressions are... Oh, using a separate thing. For engagement rate, you need to have impressions, because that's how you calculate the rate, right? You need a percentage. So this is... The pivot table will not tell you this, right? Because if we put in engagement rate, that counts all engagement. But in reality, the only engagements we care about are retweets, replies, and likes. So what I want you to do is you want to add another column called true engagement rate, or whatever you want to call it. And boom, we're gonna do a little bit of math here. Everyone remember how to find the average of something? It's really easy. The sum of all three divided by impressions. Yes, this is a pivot table, Lucas. That feel when purging has the third most average likes. Yeah. It's a one-time thing. Yeah, because this is not part of the pivot table, it's hard to actually. You can't sort this table by this number, but at a glance, you can still see. You can still see which ones stand out the most. Milestone tweets have a lot of true engagement. Wholesome tweets have a lot of true engagement. Surprising, very surprising. See what else stands out here. It's my first time looking at these numbers myself. Circle memes have good engagement. Replies don't really mean anything. Polls still have pretty strong at 3%. So you see these numbers are much lower than the numbers you saw before, but these are the true numbers. These are the numbers that are so important because these, if you want to make tweets that people actually care about, this is the type of tweet people care about, right? Or if you just wanted to care about like retweets or replies, you could just look at that number here, right? What type of tweet gets you the most engagement? Lucia VTuber, yes, that is correct. You could also add this to the original data, and then you can add it as part of the pivot table. That is also fine. I just did this because I only want to do it with the top ones. I guess you could do it in the pivot table. That's actually a very good idea. So let's see. What's a circle meme? This is a circle meme. This thing. No more slots. You remember this? You see this everywhere? The circle meme. How can you update the table with new tweet info? You have to. You could technically, get the date range of like the latest week, and then you could slap it onto the bottom. But I don't like doing that because the top 100 tweets will have now changed again, right? So I just every month I do this and I do it fresh. I do it fresh so that I can just see my new top 100. What is considered good engagement rate? True engagement rate? I mean, I don't know. We don't have a benchmark for this. For VTubing, it's hard to say, really, especially for indie VTubing. My suggestion is don't compare yourself to other people. Don't. Compare yourself with yourself. Look at how you did last week or last month and say, okay, what has gone up and what has gone down? And that's what you should care about. Like, don't look at my numbers and think, oh my goodness, Jusagi's average numbers are so much higher. Well, yes, because I've been doing this for a while, right? It doesn't matter. My numbers aren't important. Focus on your own numbers. This does not count. I have no idea how the circle meme works. I'm just assuming it's based on like mentions. Okay. So, let's see. There's one more thing I wanted to show you with the pivot table that is can be useful. So let's just copy and paste a new one here. Oops, nope, I didn't mean to do that. Need a little bit more space. We'll put it over here, a new pivot table, and I'm just going to remove all this stuff unimportant. I'll put impressions, and I will put tweet type. Now, here we go. Actually, no, let's not do impressions. Let's do engagements. So, the count A of tweet type. This is how many tweets of this type you have made during this time period. So you can say, okay, so I've made 6 networking threads in January. That makes sense. I've made 7 milestone tweets. I've made 11 self-promo tweets. The thing that really starts to show up for people. And I'll see if I can show you. Insert chart. I want to sort by tweet type. Oh no, so I want to sort by count of tweet type. And over here, let's just do something. Let's keep it basic. We'll do engagements just to be simple. Average engagements. Average descending. Okay, so this is really important, and a lot of people trip up here, honestly. I do too. We'll make this red. If you notice, you're making a lot of tweets, but they're not getting any traction. You may want to think about what you're tweeting about. Right? So let's say in this example, I do a lot of self-promo tweets because I stream pretty often, but people don't really care about self-promo tweets. And I need to make self-promo tweets because I need to tell people I'm going live, but it can't be all I tweet about. This is what the data is telling me. That means I should tweet more about PNG drops. The purge is still there. You know what? We're gonna skip that one. Polls are good. Circle memes. Talking about other stuff. This is the stuff people care about. But this is what I'm tweeting about. So this kind of shows if your Twitter is lopsided. Are you focusing on the wrong thing? Are you tweeting things that people don't care about? Should you be focusing on things people actually care about? And by comparing these two charts, you can see that. You can see that really clearly. Maybe there's some things down here where I don't talk about a lot that I should. Like, I only did one business tip this month. This is the dead last. I mean, they're all tied, but business tips are actually not that far down. It's about halfway. So maybe I should do more business tips tweets. Purging. Okay, all right. You know what? Purging, it was a temporary one-time thing. Okay. Also, if you're here, you know what? Never mind. Okay, so that's the gist of the pivot table tutorial, of the deep dive tutorial. Does anyone have? Actually, I shouldn't delete that. Does anyone have any questions about this? Oh, let's say you don't care about networking because networking is skewing over my data. So I can go to filters and I can turn networking off. Where's networking? Networking's gone. I'm turning off purge too, so because you guys won't shut up about it. So now these two are gone, and I have to adjust my chart a bit because the numbers are now to 23. So this is now maybe cleaner data that doesn't include the purge nor the networking. I want to say thank you. You're welcome. Purge Mad Max Jusagi fan art. Doesn't matter who exactly is engaging with your tweets, though. I mean, that's another matter. Like, let's say you want to focus on non-VTubers versus VTubers. Obvious, like, then that's fair. I think a lot of us should focus more on non-VTubers. But you can't really get that from the data because Twitter's tools, they can't tell you if who's a VTuber and who isn't, right? So that's not something you can do on like a macro level, like saying, oh, because this audience retweeted me more than this audience, that's better. That's interesting, but you can't get that data. I would say getting engagements in general is pretty good. I wouldn't say it, like it hurts your overall average engagement. Because think about like every tweet is an opportunity for someone to get closer to you, to understand you more, to understand your brand more, right? And if you're constantly putting out, let's say the only thing you tweet is self-promo, and there's a lot of people who do this, and it's so painful to watch, where every single tweet is, hey, I'm going live, hey, I'm doing a collab, hey, I hit my milestone, hey, I hit affiliate, and it's like, that's all you talk about. You are literally an ad. I don't care about you. Unless we're already friends, I don't care about you. You are uninteresting. I want to turn on ad blocker and remove you from my timeline. You're getting purged. So if that's you right now, and there's probably some people here who do just do that, think about what Twitter is used for. And we'll get into that a little bit later when we go into our Twitter questions. But you can't just build a Twitter account on self-promo. Being good at marketing doesn't mean putting like a dozen hashtags into every tweet. That just makes you look desperate, and no one wants to look desperate. Does prior low engagement make you less discoverable on Twitter? I honestly don't know. I don't know how the Twitter algorithm works. I honestly don't know. It very well could. Twitter could learn that this person doesn't make good tweets or tweets that people care about, and therefore will show their tweets less frequently. That could be it. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. What do you mean you can't get that data? So, like, this depends on what you mean by who is retweeting, right? Like, if I look at the data here, I can't see who is giving me these engagements. I can't tell which accounts they're from. I can't tell who's replying. I can't tell who's retweeting. I could do that manually, but I can't do that on a macro level, right? So for the purposes of this, I think just looking at everything through broad strokes is fine. Okay. You mean you can't just throw yourself at people and get successful? I mean, who knows? Dang, Lucas, that's brutal. Okay, all right. Looks like you guys have gotten pretty good. Okay, so I want all of you. To go to my description in YouTube and look at the homework. Oh my goodness, what is this? What is this homework you have? This is the JCC intern work log for January. And you get to see who has been doing what JCC tasks and their personal performance rating. So I have some questions as the boss. And I don't know how to find well, I do know how to find the answers, but I need your help to help me find the answers. Who has worked the most total hours here? Who has the highest average performance rating? How many times have interns cleaned my Toyota? And who has done the least hours of work? So this, you don't have access to change anything. So what you need to do is you click up here, you go to File, make a copy. You make your own copy, and then you can do this on your own. So I want you, literally you, who is listening to this, I want you to tell me the answers to these 4 questions. And I'm going to ask you again at the end of the stream, and we'll see if you guys got it right. Okay? I actually built this myself just for this example. Okay, it's 150 things I just made up. Look, these are our actual JCC interns. So if you see your name in here, that means I remember. Well, I also built this like a month ago, so I don't have a lot of new friends. But some of you will be in here. Some of you will be in here for sure. All right. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's take a second and let's fade back out here. So let's take a quick intermission. What do you think about what I just taught you? Does that make sense? Do you think that's useful? I find it incredibly useful. I do this every month. I used to do it every 2 weeks, but then I got too busy. And it really helps guide what I tweet about in the next month. He says I'm simping for Alfie. This spreadsheet is filled with lies. Asuzu, you go to file and you make a copy. I will ask all of you the answers later on, and you can check your work at the end of the stream. So that's how you will do it. Or if you leave, I'll also you can always just talk about it in my Discord. Hinata, I went over everything, so you'll have to go watch the VOD. I cannot go over all of it again. But when you're next free, let's go get sushi. Heck yeah, let's get some sushi, bun. Alright, so I asked a couple of business questions to people through Curious Cat. I think there were like 6 or 7 of them, so I put them all into a presentation, and we'll go over them now when you guys are ready. So I have so many different game BGMs. I'm just gonna play them. Oops. Sorry, there we go. My bad. Okay, what we want to do is all right. This is a great demonstration of how to do stuff I will never do. Hey, fair enough. Not the fact that you know how to do it, even outside of this. This is such a useful tool. Like, it's very few people know how to do this, even from like a marketing professional level. What was that? I just fast-tracked you through 4 years of university? Boom, you're welcome. How do you do this on my phone? Painfully. You should do it on a computer. I don't think you can really... That's going to be painful to do it on your phone, dude. That's super useful? Thank you. Okay, so... Oh, Lucas, fair enough. But, like, the thing is, if you ever want to be a streamer or anything as well, right, that could be useful. Or if you ever want to do that for work, pivot tables are very useful for work in general. Okay, so let's go through some questions, shall we? Hold on, am I blocking the questions? Yes, I am. Stir. How can I figure out what I do better than anyone else? What sets me apart from the crowd? Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on. I am stupid. Hold on. I need to actually put out my notes because I forgot to pull out my notes. So I'm not going to wing this. I prepared notes for these. So give me a second. All right. Let's see. Nakami, none of this is from school. None of this is from school. I have a marketing degree as well. All of this is from real life work experience. I learned this actually pretty recently in the last couple of years. So, if you guys have seen my latest video on competitive advantage, I'm sure a lot of people are struggling with this, where they go through and they realize, oh geez, Calliope can sing, Ame's really cute and she has a cute voice, Iron Mouse can sing, Project Melody does all that weird stuff on weird questionable sites and that makes her super popular. Ina can draw. What talents do I have? How am I going to make it as a VTuber if I don't have a talent? Well, it's not really about talent. Okay, I mean it is. If you have a talent, that's fantastic. But it's about a niche. Finding something that no one else is really doing and diving into it, right? If nothing immediately comes to mind, think about what you... Well, first of all, think about what you're passionate about. That's the most important thing. What do you like doing? Do you enjoy photography? Do you enjoy music, drawing? I guarantee you are better at something than someone else. Are you good at first-person shooters? Are you good at tactical RPGs? Are you good at story building? Are you good at cooking. Maybe you're good at Excel like me. Like my once you kind of go through your passions, look at your skills. For me, marketing isn't really a passion. I like doing it, but it's my job, right? This is what I'm professionally trained to do, and that became my competitive advantage. My unique selling proposition is my marketing skill, because not many marketers are VTubers. In fact, I think I might be the only one who's a professional marketer. I met another person who's in HR, which is pretty close. Not HR, sorry, public relations, which is pretty close, but not exactly what I'm doing, which is digital marketing, which is literally VTubing. Gundam VTubers, boom. Let's see. Being bad at video games, that's something, right? Being funny when you get scared of something is a competitive advantage I think I have, because I am scared of Sonic Adventure 2 and I will scream like a little girl. I'm scared of like spiders and fish sometimes, and noodles sometimes, and dandelions. Okay, there's one deep fear I have, where if you show me a picture of it, I will actually scream and unplug my computer. I will not tell anyone what this is, because you guys will bully me to death, and you will never find out. But I have one secret fear that I am so afraid of. How are you afraid of Sonic Adventure 2? Don't worry about it. So, anyways, think about something you're passionate about, or you know how to do from work or from school. If maybe just a type of video game you like playing. Are you really good at Toho? You really like playing Age of Empires 2? You like playing trash games like Booster? That's a niche. Booster loves those trash games, and they are awful. My God, they're so bad. But he's playing them, and they're entertaining. I think that's a competitive advantage. You're scared of Booster beating you in a video game. Booster's better at me in a lot of video games. I'm just better than him in Cuphead, so that doesn't really count. A lot of people are afraid of holes. It's interesting, and I'm not talking about the Junji Ito, this hole was made for me. That does freak me out a bit. But like just holes in objects freak people out a lot. Your niche is programming. That could be something, right? Whatever it is you enjoy doing or you're good at, that could be a niche. And I think that's where you should start in terms of thinking about how you can separate yourself from everyone else. If you haven't watched my competitive advantage video, please go watch it later. If you're struggling with this and you haven't watched that, watch it. Trust me, just watch it. It will help you. It'll give you a start. I'm not just shilling that because I made the video. I put a lot of thought into that video. No, Cabal, no. Not this hole was made for me. I don't like that. All right. So, next question. Is doing a weekly network thread worth it? Because I feel like Twitter is already full of those. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Okay, I don't want to be a hipster, but I started the weekly networking threads, and all of you who have been around VTuber Twitter sphere know that I am the OG of weekly networking threads. But now these things are everywhere, right? These things are everywhere. And that's normal because they work. You saw my data. They really work. They get me a lot of impressions. I usually get at least 70 followers every time I do it, which is pretty chef's kiss. That's not bad at all. But they are everywhere. The more networking threads they are, the less effective they're all going to be, right? I'm on the fence about stopping doing my networking threads right now because there's so many of them. But every time I do them, there's still a lot of new people who are seeing it for the first time, and they're still getting value out of it. So it doesn't cost me anything. So I'll still keep doing it because people still find it useful. And like, even if you've seen it 100 times, maybe someone who just joined, who just started being a VTuber yesterday, this is their first networking thread, and it's helpful for them. And if it's helpful for them, I want to keep doing it. I think so, and for me, the competitive advantage or the unique part of my networking thread is that they're consistent. I've been doing it every day, every week, twice a week for like since December, right? Beginning of December. So everyone knows it. So I will still keep doing it. But if do you want to do it? Maybe not. I don't think the market is fully saturated. I think if you do it, it'll still be a success. But like some of the people in the chat are saying, think about how you can make it different, right? As a VTuber, your success, even on things like social media, your success will hinge on how creative you are. If you are creative and you think of a unique spin on things, you can still be very successful. And we're going to talk about that a little more later on. So I say yes, but think about it. Yes, in my threads, I also encourage people to participate. I'm sure other people will start using that line as well. Like, it's not like eventually they'll all be the same, and eventually I'll probably stop, but we'll see. Yeah, you were surprised when I did it. I honestly did it because I thought it was funny because I'm a business VTuber, and all we do is network. I hate networking in real life, so I thought it'd be funny that we're doing it virtually, right? But if you have a good idea, people will eventually steal it, and that's fine. That's natural. That's a natural part of any business, right? Yes, Levia, we had an excellent talk about networking threads. I'm going to shill for a second. Anyone who's here and is a VTuber, and even if you're not a VTuber, but you're interested in VTubing or interested in following VTubers, come join the JCC Discord. We do a lot of really good discussions about this sort of thing, and I really feel like there's a lot of improvement going on. Also, we just talk about dumb stuff all the time. Don't be intimidated because it's a big server. Most people are just lurking, and we're all very friendly. So I do encourage you I do encourage everyone to join the Discord. The link is in the description. All right, next question. What are your thoughts about drop your PNG style tweets? Okay, very similar thing. Okay, I still think back when I started, like back in the good old days of like the first week of December, PNG drops weren't everywhere. There were a lot of them then, and there's so many of them now, but they weren't as prevalent, and now these things are everywhere. And I've gotten to a point in my Twitter growth where it's not really worth it for me to do a drop your PNG style anymore, because there are more important things I can be doing with my time. But for people who are still starting out, I'd say mid-range. Like if you have around like at least like maybe 300 followers, and you have a strong base of people who talk to you a lot, like a good base of a foundation of friends, then you can do your PNG to kind of accelerate your momentum from like the lower middle area, like from when you're starting out, into someone that is basically networking for yourself, right? But once you hit a certain point, like if I do a drop your PNG, it's so much work for me to try and keep up. I am sitting there for like not days, but like most of the day I am doing it. And like some people like Celeste, Momoka, they've done these PNG drops where they're like, oh my god, help, I've been doing this all day. I can't leave the computer. Exactly, Kamui. It's if you have a good idea, and I'm going to do a shout out right now. Robin, I don't know if you're in here. I don't think you are. Robin has the record for one of the best PNG drops I've ever seen. And this is late December. It's because Robin will actually Photoshop your face as latte art on your cup. And that is fantastic. That is so good. It's so unique that if I saw that, I would absolutely drop my PNG. Like instantly, no questions asked, because that's so cool. Drop your PNG and I'll see you with my eyes. Drop your PNG and I'll tell you if you're like on the top bed or the bottom bed or I don't know, whatever, tops and bottoms. I don't know what that means. You know, be a little more creative. Come on, we've all seen it 100 times. So, another person I want to shout out is Lumen, because Lumen did one where if you drop your PNG, he will Photoshop himself or draw himself into your picture. And that is so great, and that is so cute, and I am angry I missed this one because I really, really want to join it. Drop your PNG and you'll do nothing. It's a meme. It's just people being, haha, funny inside joke. They're being, like, meta, which is funny the first time and then immediately not funny ever again. So, long answer shortened down. Yes, PNG drops can still be useful depending on your size, but you want to be creative. If you're not creative with it, then what's the point? Even if you have a lot of engagement, like Lumen, I will always remember. I mean, Lumen is very memorable, but if he did this for me, if Lumen photoshopped himself onto my head as a picture for a PNG drop, I will never forgetting Lumen. Right? It's so unique. I am never forgetting him. So be creative with it. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. How does one break the barrier as a streamer and a content creator? I feel like I'm growing on Twitter and have a unique twist, but my streams are essentially dead, and it feels so hard to get the first few viewers. Okay, raise your hand if this feels like you. I think this feels like most of us, honestly. Back before I was a VTuber, I would love to know the answer to this question. Well, Celeste, I'm not good at art at all. I have zero art skills. I can't draw anything. You saw my Pikachu the other day. It was rough. So, it's hard to answer this question, and this is the first hurdle of being a VTuber. Being a streamer, really. The first hurdle to being a VTuber is how to get people to your streams. How to convert people who are on Twitter to people who are on Twitch or YouTube. Let's see here. As a general rule, you want to make sure your Twitter is actively funneling people to your Twitch streams or to your YouTube streams. And I don't mean just doing self-promo and nothing but that, because that's going to do the opposite. If all you talk about is, I'm going live, I don't care. I'm going to unfollow you. You want to do something that's called the 80-20 rule, okay? 80% of your tweets or your content should be about helping other people, should be giving back to the community, should be making people laugh, being memorable, building your brand, and 20% of it should be self-promotion. That's what real businesses follow. When I run real business social media accounts, like for actual businesses, I follow that rule. And it's tough. It's really tough because everyone likes talking about themselves, and everyone is using, everyone wants to use Twitter to get followers and to get viewers, but you have to not do that, right? I would recommend, honestly, as a first step, you want to make closer relationships with people. You want to have that initial foundation of, I want to say, true fans, people who really like you, people who are friends with you and you are friends with them, and they will come to your stream because they like you. And building that is the first cornerstone, right? 1,000 true fans, exactly, Cab. I know exactly about that. I don't think you need to get to 1,000. Just get like 5, right? Think about who you talk to on Twitter, who you're actually friends with, and don't try to make friends with them so you can manipulate them into going to your streams, because that makes you a psychopath. Don't do that. I'm not recommending that. Also, that makes you look super shallow. It's not good. I want you to go out and actually try to make friends, right? Look at people who celebrated their milestones. Congratulate them. Keep following up on conversation. Add them on Discord. Maybe play some games with them. You go on their streams. You chat with them. And you become friends. That I have made so many good friends in this community by doing that, right? And more important than, who comes to my streams, I'm very proud to say that I have a lot of people I would actually count as real friends. Once you have these people who just like you, and they just like you, even if I'm playing solitaire, they'll come and watch my streams. If once you get like that foundation of people, that helps give you the momentum you need. Yeah, what makes you look like a psychopath is sucking up to people and pretending to be their friends so you can manipulate them into coming to your stream. And if they don't come to your stream, you get really mad and you call them a fake friend. Don't do that. Okay, you have to. That's a dangerous mindset, because let's say I love watching your streams. Let's say I love watching your streams, but I'm really busy. And usually, even if I come to your streams, I'm usually lurking or I'm on for like maybe 15 minutes because I do so much other stuff. If you come to me, you're like, hey, why didn't you come to my stream? I tweeted you, I messaged you about why didn't you come to my stream? You know what that does? That guarantees I will never come to your stream ever again. Think about it like if you're a shopkeeper and you're trying to sell something, but your customers aren't really buying it. Like, people are coming to the store, they're window shopping, they're leaving, and you're frustrated. And you grab a customer by the shoulders and you yell at them, why aren't you buying anything? I'm giving you such good deals. These products are so great. Why aren't you buying anything? That's not going to work. They're not going to suddenly buy something because you confronted them. That just makes you look like a lunatic, and you don't want to do that. You never want to do that. If the customer or people don't like going to your streams, you can't blame them for it. You have to improve yourself. Tara, no, come on. Fox, reply to them a lot. Like, even if you don't go to streams, DM them. Say, hey, sorry I missed your stream. I watched your VOD. It was really funny. Or you want to play some, Left 4 Dead sometime, or you want to play some COD, or just honestly, just one small thing you can do in general to show that you're genuine and how to actually be genuine on Twitter is you talk to people without shilling anything. You talk to people because you're genuinely interested in what they have to say. Part of being a good human being in the first place. Like, I have seen people, and this is the worst. If you do this, I don't want to. Oh man, if you reply to someone, I've seen people reply to someone in a conversation, slip in the fact that they're streaming, slide in their Twitch URL, and then put a hashtag on it. That is disgusting. You do that to me, and I will never talking to you again. Because you're like, clearly you don't care about me. You're trying to force me to go to your Twitch stream, and it makes you look like a loser. And I will never go to your Twitch stream, and I am probably blocking you. I've seen people do it. Finding out what to improve, that goes back to the competitive advantage, right? And a host of other things too. Maybe your audio quality isn't that good. Maybe there's something about your setup that isn't working. Maybe you're very scuffed. Maybe the type of game you play isn't very good. Maybe you need voice training lessons so that you're speaking a little more clearly. Maybe you a number of different things to improve the quality of your stream. But in this case, it's just getting people to your stream in the first place. Amy Sensei, sorry, that is absolutely correct. I don't think anyone asked this question, but it's a very important one. I mentioned the first big barrier. This is the first big barrier. The second big barrier is reaching out to non-VTubers. And that's really tough. That's because PNG drops aren't going to work anymore. Networking threads aren't going to work anymore. The training wheels are off, and you have to actually genuinely be an interesting person to get non-VTuber fans. Once I figure out how to do it, I'll let you know. I'm working at it, but it's a long process. Amy Sensei's Japanese and chess streams are a great way of doing this because you don't have to be a fan of VTubing to like chess or learning Japanese. So finding those interests could be something you could do. Yes, neat. I remember that. That's very sweet of you. Absolutely, Amy. I think that's a really great idea. All right, let's move on from this question. It's a hard question. It's a hard question, and that's my recommendation at first. Is you talk about other people, you bring value to your followers, and you make friends. And from the more friends you make, the more people will want to support you because they like you. And once you, even if nothing else, the fact that you have people like, I have a couple of people who come and watch me every stream. And it's, oh my goodness, I got locked out again. Hold on. I hate this stupid laptop. Okay. I get people who come and visit me every single stream, and I appreciate them so much. And that sort of thing, even if nothing else, gives me the motivation to keep working hard. That even one person likes me enough to come and watch. People who came to this stream like 2 hours before it was live. I love that. That shows people really care about this topic and they care about me. And don't neglect your mental health, because seeing people care about you gives you a huge surge of energy and motivation, because that, at the end of the day, we want to make people happy, right? Get a second screen. I will when I can afford it. I can't afford it right now. I'm poor. All right. Oh yeah, neat. I mean, like, I never want to say, people who don't show up aren't friends. That's the whole point. The whole point is people who can come, will come. And if you don't show up to my streams, that's fine. You're busy, or maybe this isn't your thing. I'm not going to hold it against you. Please don't say you're less than you are like you did before. Your self talk is bad sometimes. You mean I'm self depreciating? Ha, ha. I'll always be self depreciating. Anyways, moving on. What would be the most important to least important statistics to pay attention to? Okay, this is my personal listing. Yes, if you'd like to help me fund a new screen and a new computer, I have pinned the coffee link for a reason. Absolutely optional. But if you want me to not have to use a laptop to look at chat, oh god, I would love a new monitor and or computer. Okay, so next question. What is the most... Okay, so for me, I think in terms of statistics, the number one most important thing is concurrent stream views. Right? How many people are watching your stream? Like, what is the maximum number of people watching your stream? Because you can have followers, and there are people who I follow who I never go watch, either because it's never the right time zone, or I'm not actually that interested, or maybe they're playing games I don't like. So even though I follow them, if I don't actually watch them, I don't contribute anything to anyone. But concurrent stream views is how many people are actually watching you live. That's the metric that is the most important. That is, for me, that is one of my end goals. I want to get that number as high as possible on average, because I want people to come to my streams. That's why I'm putting in all this effort. Number two is YouTube and Twitch followers, or like subscribers, basically. Not the paid subscriptions, just like your YouTube sub, a free follow. Because, like I said before, it's so hard converting people who just follow you on Twitter to someone who actually subscribes to you on YouTube. So I care a lot more about my YouTube subscriptions than I do about my Twitter followers. What games do you like to see? Let's see here. I actually usually like games that are unconventional. I don't like watching popular games. If you're playing Among Us or Minecraft, I'm usually not. I might lurk if I really like you, but I don't really care about those games. Watching them, anyways. I don't like watching collabs. That's just me. I like watching weird indie games, because it's like, oh man, this game looks fun. The best streams I have are ones where I watch and I'm like, I want to go get this game. So look at Juniper. Juniper plays some of the weirdest, most indie, tiniest games ever, like Neon Chrome. and Kabounce, and after watching her play, I also want to go buy these games now. That's how that's a good stream, because I actually want to play these games after watching them play. So that's me personally. Those are my favorite ones. Anyways, let's keep going. The next is true engagement rate, like replies, retweets, likes. How many of these am I getting on Twitter? Are people retweeting, liking, or replying to my tweets, and how often are they doing it? Then after that, it's general engagement rate. So just any sort of engagement rate. How good is that? Finally, the least important thing is Twitter followers. Twitter followers are useful, right? Twitter followers are useful because the more Twitter followers you have, the more people can see your tweets, obviously. But it's diminishing marginal returns, because I have 2,400 people who follow me. It doesn't guarantee all my tweets are going to get seen by all of them. It usually goes to a fraction of them, unless people start retweeting it, right? The bigger your Twitter, so many people focus on Twitter followers, and I don't understand, because it's for the most part, it's a vanity metric. I celebrate milestones because it gives me because milestone tweets do well, and it gives me a reason to tweet about something, and I know people will engage with that. But me hitting a certain Twitter number isn't intrinsically valuable. It doesn't make me any more successful to be 2,500 versus 2,600. It's just a number, right? So I don't find that super important. Let's see, what else did people say? Duolingo is a great thing to stream. I should stream that sometime, huh? The super secret follow ratio. Personally, the reason I did the purge in the first place was because I couldn't find people I actually wanted to talk to, because I followed everyone because I didn't care, right? But so many people are follow for follow, and so many people I don't even know who they are. So going through my follower list, and if I don't recognize you, you're getting cut. And I didn't do it because I wanted that skinny ratio. I did it because I wanted to find people I actually cared about. I don't think that ratio is super important, but it's more about, it's important if you want to find people you want to actually talk to, and you want to just focus on your friends and building up that foundation. It kind of reduces the amount of noise everywhere. Okay. All right. So those are my most important to least important statistics to pay attention to. Next question. Have you committed tax fraud or tax evasion in the process of founding? No! Stop asking this question. Hey, I can't believe this is still... Get out of here. All right. That's it. No more questions. Shutting it down. All right. All right. So, let's go through the answers to that quiz, shall we? Has everyone had a chance to do the quiz? If not, I'll give you guys maybe 10 minutes to do it. Done and dusted. You used the wrong count. Someone messaged. My Discord is turned off right now because I'm streaming. How does one move up in the ranks of JCC? Do I need to polish my fighting skills? Tara, you have to actually come to the channel and talk to me, because people need to talk to me, or just talk in general. I mean, there's no ranks. You're all interns, unless you want to be a mod. And trust me, ask Cab. It's an inglamorous job being a JCC mod. I make him do so much work. Thank you, Cab. I appreciate you. Welcome, Lunas. Okay. Do you guys want more time to finish the assignment, or we can just chat and you can ask more questions for now, or we can go into the answers. Do mods get snacks? No. No snacks. Do mods get paid? No. Well, sometimes. Yeah, you have to take the bonk stick and you have to hit all the people who are super lewd in our chat. What quiz? The homework. We went through the homework, Neat. The homework quiz. Do mods get more affection than interns? Ask Cab. Cab, are you feeling more affectionate? Do you feel like you've gotten more affection from me? Or from Booster? They get less. Yeah, if you become a mod, I just ignore you. You're ready for the quiz. Okay, all right. So let's pull this back up. And if you guys aren't ready yet, not a big deal. You can still do it, just for fun. Whoop. And all right. So I shouldn't have closed my answer sheet. I am stupid. Hold on. I don't know why I did that. Give me a second here. This is an additional chance for you guys to finish this. For those of you who don't know what this is, go check the description for the homework link. I'm going to be sharing the answers here. What avatar program do you use? I use VTube Studio, if that's what you mean by avatar program. Where is that stupid answer sheet? I did this before. And of course my screen turns off. I hate this laptop so much. Where did it go? Okay. So, all right, is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Who has worked the most total hours? Let's see. The answer is Any Guma, who is not in this chat today. Our fellow goddess / VTubio person. Booster, okay, yeah, also Booster has also done it. Didn't want to forget about you, Booster. You are correct. Booster and Any have done the most work. Thank you, guys. Booster, I don't know why Booster's doing all this intern work, but, here he is. Great work. Number 2, who has the highest average performance rating? And it's quite a landslide too. Average. Correct. It is Starson. Thank you, Starson, for being absolutely stellar at your job. Starson 9.0. Excellent. Next question. How many times have interns cleaned my Toyota? Eight times. Correct. My Toyota has been cleaned 8 times. It gets dirty very quickly. And perhaps the most important question, who is the biggest slacker out of everyone at the JCC? It's one of those Toyotas that have 4 wheels. Correct. It is Rain. Thanks a lot, Rain. These answers were randomly generated, but I also think it's super funny that Rain has done the least amount of work and Ennie has done the most because, yeah, sounds about right. Oh, that's really funny. Not on purpose. Complete coincidence. When I ran the numbers, I laughed really hard. Whoops. Wrong page. Okay, here we go. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for filling out the quiz. Let's see. Is Tara even in here? No. No, Small Tara is not in the list of employees at the time, unfortunately. I can't believe bullying the boss was only done 7 times this month. I think that's an absolute lie. I think it's been done at least 3 or 4 dozen times. All right. So that's it for the business section of this webinar, I guess. It's not really a webinar. It's a stream, but it really is a business webinar. Welcome to your first business webinar, an actual JCC like seminar. I feel like a professor. I think you get bullied 7 times an hour. Yeah, it's true. So my original plan was I was gonna play some GeoGuessr. Does anyone want to play some GeoGuessr, or do you want to ask me some more questions? Because I'm happy to do that for another half hour. Let me know. No problem, Fox. I'm happy you liked it. Play two. Oh, I'm not playing Toho now. Chaos. All right. Good night, everyone. Okay. You know what? Let's just keep it in the spirit of the marketing webinar, and let's just keep looking at questions for now. You're welcome, Jun. You're welcome, everyone who enjoyed it. I'm not playing Toho on stream. We'll do that in a separate stream. Booster, go away. Booster, not now. Booster. The stream's not over yet. I was going to ask you some more questions. Let me check the. Why Dark Souls 2? You're going to play a different Dark Souls. Let me check the. Let's see here. Did anyone ask any more questions while we were waiting? Let's find out. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Let's see. No one has asked me any more questions, so I guess we are out of questions to talk about. You know what? I think it might actually, if no one has any more questions, I think it might be best if we just end on a high note then. Thank you to everyone who came. It was super fun. I won't really be doing that many of these because I have a lot of marketing knowledge, clearly, but not all of it applies to streaming or VTubing or Twitter even. So I'll probably keep doing like business videos instead. So this is a special, for the time being, this is a special one-time marketing special. So if you're in here and you saw this live, I hope you feel blessed because I'm not doing this again. I have a question. How are you so cool? Because of my interns. Interns make me cool. Now we'll play GeoGuessr next time. We'll just keep it so that the VOD is 100% marketing. Yes, neat. Now we'll do GeoGuessr next time. Serious questions, yes. Anyone, please answer. Please ask your serious questions. You're welcome, Abigail. I'm happy you like it. Why am I still getting hate from me? Not from me. Do you have any tips on how to figure out a few things that set you apart, like an exercise. Mm, I don't know if I have like a proper exercise. I just look at like the things I enjoy doing, the games I enjoy playing, the media I like to consume, or I like listening to true crime, and I like mystery, and sometimes that sort of thing. So that could be a direction as well. That's not the direction I took with Jusagi, but that could be something. Um, just think about why you watch other VTubers. Why do you watch me? Like, why do you watch Hololive or VShojo? What reason do you watch them? And think of if you have something similar to that, maybe at a smaller level, but see, well, what can you pull out of that you can use in your own VTubing career? How do you avoid internet addiction when in this market? You do not avoid internet addiction. It is a part of your soul. I am hopelessly addicted to the internet and Twitter. So, if you're hearing this message, it's already too late for you. And you have to pay Canadian data rates too with your awful Wi-Fi bun. So I'm sorry. That's a good point, Kairu. So let me read that out loud. If you could do something as a full-time job, what would you do? Figure out which ones you can do as a VTuber. How do you find the top people who engage with your tweets? Is an easy way to find this. Um, I don't know about engage with your tweets, but I know there's a couple of questionable Twitter tools that helps you that could find your top followers, right? Like the followers have people who follow you that have the most followers of their own. But I wouldn't really trust those programs. I think I used it once and then I immediately blocked it because I've heard bad things about those kinds of programs. They can do some bad stuff to your account, so I wouldn't recommend it. What are the most important things to do if you tweet? Like what to expect? Sorry, what do you mean, Isuzu? Could you elaborate that on a little bit more? Do you feel like there's such a thing as over marketing? Phrasia, I'm not going to read your first name because I'm say so. If you're doing marketing correctly and doing it like the way I've gone through, it doesn't feel self promotional because it's not self promotional. You're building a brand. So I don't think I think you can always keep going. Even if your brand is posting stupid things and like posting memes at 3 a.m, that can be your brand. I don't think there's too much of that. If you're doing but you can definitely post too much self promotion. You don't want to post. You want to minimize your self promotion as much as you can. It's hard, but that's the ideal. Chirpty is okay. Yes, Chirpty is okay. What is your honest opinion of VTubers that try to break the mold away from the root of anime or moe, like yourself? The meta right now, I don't know if I can call it a meta, is obviously, anime girls have a big advantage. I'm an anime girl. Anime girls with an anime voice is huge. That's what's super popular. But I feel like when things break through to mainstream, I feel like people who are more alternative, like yourself, Cap, could find a larger market because you're gonna be a lot more VTuber fans that are just more like normies, like regular people, and some of them might be more interested in the horror aspect as opposed to just anime girls. A lot of people who are VTubers right now are VTubers because we found Hololive and we fell in love with Hololive or VShojo or Kizuna Ai or whatever, right? So we wanted to be. That's why VTuber girls are and moe is very popular, and I think it'll still be the most popular. But I think your specific niche as something that's alternative, I think that will flourish in time. But I don't. That's just a prediction from me. Okay, let me just scroll. There's a lot of talking. Do you have any tips for setting a schedule? Don't stream every day. I learned that the hard way. I don't know. I mean, like, I was on the fence about setting a schedule for a really long time because my philosophy for a while is I don't want to stream if I'm not in the mood for it because it makes for a boring stream. But so far, I've been loving streaming on a schedule because I think it really increases the turnout of people because they know that I am always going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday at around 6:30 PST, and then Saturday as well, right? So I think it's really good to do it. In terms of tips, try to find a time where people are available. I actually put out a poll before I made my schedule, and I asked who would be available at this time slot, at that time slot, and this time slot, and that helped me guide my schedule making because I want to schedule when people are free, right? What is the most important thing when you're going to tweet something? I mean, there's no one single thing. I think it's if you want to make a bigger tweet, I would say the quality of your call to action, right? So let's say you're tweeting a PNG drop, and you're asking people to Photoshop themselves into this photo, and it's like that is so much work. I am not going to do that because I don't care. So your call to action is too complicated. People aren't going to participate. If it's something really simple, like just drop your PNG and an introduction, that's good too. Like that's going to get people to sign up, but it doesn't really engage them. So finding a nice middle point, like for me, like asking people to share something they're proud of is a nice middle point for me, where it's not super easy, but it's something that people want to talk about because that's going to be more memorable. Having a good call to action makes your tweet more memorable. That's one of the most important things about a tweet for me. Doesn't mean every single tweet needs a call to action, and in fact, you shouldn't put in a call to action on every single tweet because then you look like a robot or an advertisement. But whenever I want to actually talk to people and engage, I always add in a question, right? Because I like having that engagement. There's some weird lewd stuff. I'm just going to skip that. Frasier, don't insert yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't, when someone else is talking, don't just slide in the fact that you're streaming into that conversation because it looks super weird. It looks like you're trying to sell someone into a pyramid scheme. Because imagine if your friends were talking about, like a football game or something, and you suddenly mention that, hey, you know what, we're selling knives, and they're really high quality. Your friends are going to look at you like you're crazy and you're super weird and it's a super awkward conversation. Don't shill yourself. Don't. Just have a conversation with people. Be interested in them. Have a real conversation. And then when the time is right, ask them to come to your stream through like a single tweet. That's what I recommend. Or else you become an ad. If someone does that to me, I unfollow them because that is really... I don't want to interact with people who just talk about themselves, especially when they're going into my conversation. You changed your voice to fit into the anime image. Nothing wrong with that. I think your voice is lovely, Amy Sensei. For short-length videos on Twitter, it's better to upload directly on Twitter or use a YouTube link for engagement. Because I think that's a very good question. That's a very good question. And I think it depends on your goals, right? If your goals right now is, let's say you're just starting out and you want to grow your Twitter account, you really need that foundation. I would put it directly on Twitter and then have it on YouTube later on. For me, my Twitter is kind of developed already, and I want people to go to my YouTube, so I embed it to YouTube and send people there instead. But in terms of just getting more people to watch it, I think doing straight on Twitter is a better choice. But that's just my personal preference. Oh my goodness, that's super sexy boing boing big opai neko mimi one-chan. Thank you, super sexy boing boing big opai neko mimi one-chan, for... My cat is blocking the camera. For coming to my stream again. I remember you from last time because you have the most ridiculous name ever on this planet. Do you see VTubers getting big time sponsorships like YouTubers in the future, or do you see them becoming a taboo or frowned upon? I see them absolutely be getting big time sponsorships. Just look at, right now it's just Azure Lane has a HoloLive collaboration. Princess Connect, which is Crunchyroll, has a promotional special with HoloLive VN. It's gonna happen. There's no reason why it wouldn't. I don't think I don't think it's gonna become taboo. How do you discern what is a healthy workload? If you feel yourself burning out, then stop. Take a break. Don't obsess over numbers. Don't obsess over numbers. If you feel like, I mean, numbers is a wonderful person, but like your Twitter numbers, don't obsess over them because you're gonna burn out. If you feel yourself like starting to dread doing this or feel like, oh, I don't want to do this, then just take a break. Just take a break. Don't break for too long because people who go on a long hiatus will, you will lose a lot of the momentum you've generated. I mean, if your mental health is to a point where like you really need that break, then take it. But if you can avoid it, just take a short break and don't overwork yourself. Yes, Frasier. I it's kind of I don't know if this is absolutely true. You're talking about having short streams versus long streams, but you know, in economics we talk about scarcity, right? If something is everywhere and readily available, it's not that valuable. There are things that are valuable just because, or they're worth more just because they're scarce. And that's why I've been working, thanks to the advice of my lovely COO Booster, on keeping my streams shorter than they usually are. So I try to keep them around 3 hours at most, whereas before I sometimes have like 4.5 hours. You know, so I think that's very sound advice. I think if you like doing super long streams, I mean, you know, more power to you, right? But streaming for a shorter amount of time and then using the extra time to either rest or build your brand is possibly a better use of your time. Resting is a part of growth. You have to rest. You have to relax sometimes, or you're gonna go crazy. Hello, Tsumitai Kaze. Reading more stuff. Hello, Race Penguin. Yes, I agree, Dragos. I mean, I was the person when I started my first YouTube channel. I would have that app open, and I would check my numbers every 45 seconds. Every 45 seconds, and it'd be like, if a view came in, yes, I'm a success. Someone is watching a video, and if like 2 minutes go by and no view comes in, oh my god, I'm a loser. And it was that mental roller coaster for like an entire, maybe like the first month of being a YouTuber. So I don't recommend that. That was awful. Shorter streams, better content. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like this is a chore, take a break. Change up what you're doing. Because I'm doing all this, and like being Jusagi and running the JCC and all this is an incredible amount of work. It is. I work harder at this than my actual job, but it's because I love doing this. It's hard work, but I enjoy it, and I think that's something that's really important for all of you. And I say it a lot, but you have to enjoy this, because if you don't enjoy it, you're gonna burn out. If I didn't enjoy doing this, I would have quit being a VTuber ages ago. Thank you, Benno. Robin, did you hear my nice shout out? I gave you a nice shout out. I said nice things about you. I totally did. Okay, does anyone have any other questions for me? Glaire's an unpaid mod. Ha 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 ha. I pay you for some stuff. You're not totally unpaid. What are good examples of building your brand? Excellent question. Excellent question. Okay, so let's. You know what? That's such a good question. We're gonna go back into. Interesting. Okay. Give me a second, real quick here, while I get this set up again. Okay. No, we need this to be on brand. Speaking of branding, where's my coral? My beautiful coral. Excellent. All right. Don't need the slide. So I always ask people, and those of you who have followed me for a while remember that I did an elevator pitch tweet. That was a marketing exercise where I asked you to sell me your concept of a VTuber in one tweet. And it's really hard. It's really hard because a lot of people don't have an understanding of what their brand is. What is your brand? If you can't break it down to like 3 words, you got to rethink that. So for me, Jusagi is a wholesome, helpful business person, right? And whenever I ask people to do this, they always give me 3 personality traits. It's not about your personality. Like, yes, that's a part of it. Wholesome and helpful is my personality. Business person is my actual design and character. It's my lore. Like, if you're a dragon girl and you say, "Oh, I'm hardworking, I'm friendly, and I'm random," and it's like, okay, what about the fact that you're a dragon? That's kind of important. When I look at you being a dragon is kind of a big deal, right? Hello, Kulo, welcome. So, wholesome, helpful business person. When you narrow down your brand identity, when you boil it down into 3 words, and that encapsulates your entire being. Every tweet I make falls into this category. At least, maybe this is starting to change a bit. My brand is evolving a little bit because now I really like honey ham. That's part of my brand now, I think. So I might have to person who likes honey ham. I just bought like half a pound of honey ham as well earlier today. But like let's just be simple. Let's just focus down on 3. All right, see you, Dragos. You boil it down to 3, and every single tweet I do, I try to link it back to at least one of these words. Like a networking thread, it's a helpful business person thread, right? A marketing tips thread is a business person thread. A thread where I ask people to share their successes and compliment someone else, that's a wholesome thread. So every single thread, every single tweet, don't talk about the booby tweet, come on. Every single tweet, almost every single tweet minus the booby tweet, falls into one of these categories. So whenever anyone sees any of my tweets, they get this persona in their head. That's my plan. And every additional tweet that they see of mine, it reinforces that idea, right? Every single tweet will help build your brand. You don't have to write up lore. You don't have to talk in like an uwu voice or have like an accent or end all your sentences in yan. You could, but you don't have to. Think about what your brand is. So I regret joining that stupid thread with the anyways. So going back to your question, Freysia, every tweet should be brand building. Every single tweet should be brand building in an ideal world. And if it's not, think about what your brand is. Nail it down, 3 words. What is your brand? And then make sure you try as hard as possible to correlate everything back to those 3 words. So, you also have to be very careful because everyone is very observant, right? As a whole, we're pretty smart people. We're pretty empathetic people. And if you have a lot of things on your mind, if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling like you really need to talk to someone, if you're feeling really worn out, you should talk to someone. you should talk to friends. You should hopefully find like a therapist. I'm not saying that in a mean way. I think everyone should go to a therapist because it really helps you. I've been to therapy, super great, highly recommended if you can afford it. But don't do it through your brand. Like, you can be vulnerable. I'm vulnerable all the time. But if you're just complaining and you're just very down in the dumps and you're tweeting it from your VTuber, that becomes your brand. And that is very, very dangerous. Because people will associate those negative thoughts with you. It happens automatically. You want to be very, very careful about that. I'm not saying you always have to be 100% in character, but don't let that dominate everything you're talking about. Don't let that dominate everything you're talking about. It's not the right place for it. If you are suffering from some something serious, talk to friends. Or if you do talk about it, frame it in a different way. Back in early January, back when I debuted, I revealed that I've been working so hard in December because my grandma passed away from cancer. It's a serious topic. I felt very depressed at the time, but I also understood I didn't want people to associate that. I didn't want that to cloud who Jusagi was. And I did make a couple of sad posts because I was very sad at the time. But I wrapped it into something positive after it happened, and I celebrated it, right? That's just how I handled it. But I talked to personal friends a lot. I talked to my close companions a lot, and I had that conversation because that's healthy, you know. So, anyways, that's a really long answer to this question, but I hope that's answered your question, Fuchsia. Whoop, there I am. Yeah, Discord can be a place to vent, especially in the JCC Discord. We're all VTubers here. No one's really in character because, that's exhausting. I'm still say so though, always, every time, 100%. But if you want somewhere to talk, we don't have a vent channel, but you can still talk about what you're going through, and we'll try our best to help. I'm good, Amy. That was a while ago. VTubing has drastically improved my mental health. So don't. I appreciate your concern, but I am all right. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions, or shall we end it for today? I think I've answered every question that's been asked about me. If you haven't done the elevator pitch tweet, do it right now. Make a new tweet and explain yourself. Explain your entire idea. Tell me why I should follow you. Like, I don't know anything about you. Tell me why I should follow you in one tweet, in 140 characters, or whatever the character limit is these days. If you can't get it down to one tweet and have something unique about yourself, then you need to rethink. What is your priority? Dude, Rain, I've been tweeting about this for days, Rain, okay, you know what? Rain, I've been looking at your numbers, and according to my calculations and my reports, you are the laziest person in JCC. You do the least amount of work. I did a little exercise. If you check the homework link, I did a little mock exercise about JCC interns, and I randomized all the results, and it turns out that you are actually you have worked the least hours out of everyone in the entire company. No. You know what? You're not my little PogChamp. That's right, I said it. Nah, I'm kidding. I love you, Rain. Rain is salaried. Yeah, okay, sure, buddy. You're salaried to Monopoly money. Any other questions? Robin, thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. That's very sweet of you. Maybe one day I can afford a second wonder. Oh, I can only dream. Jusagi, you write your own elevator pitch in that tweet. I did actually. It's somewhere in there. Honestly, it's not bad, but it's not perfect. I can do better. So I wouldn't use it as an example. What I would recommend, honestly, instead of looking at me, is to Google good elevator pitch examples and see if you can find something from real life. If these investments work out, I will buy you a second one. Well, that's very sweet of you. All right. I think that's all the questions everyone has. So I think we will close off today. Um, I will put out a new schedule either later tonight or tomorrow morning. So I hope you will come next week. I'm playing a whole bunch of new games next week because some friends donated some games to me, and I'm very excited to play them. So I hope I will see you all there. Remember, next week we are also doing our Among Us collab. So if you want to have a chance of playing Among Us with Gen Zero, with me, Booster, and Ellie, please join the JCC Discord, and we will give you more information later on in the week. Boy, I am bad at Among Us because I hate lying to people. So this is going to be a train wreck. Thank you everyone who came today. There are so many of you, and I am honestly incredibly honored that this many of you came for a silly pivot table stream. I joked about making a stream about pivot tables as my very first tweet on my very first account in November. It is 3 months later, and I have made a pivot table tutorial stream, and I am so happy. I have fulfilled my purpose as a business VTuber. Yes, I will see all of you in the Discord. Thank you very much. I will. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Ha! I got the mic both times. All right. So now that only my true fans are left, let's go into some more data, shall we? Whoop de doop de doop. If you're still here, that means you're a true fan, and I appreciate you. So we'll go into the next step of pivot tables. I'm not going to tell you the formula for this, although I have shared this before. I don't really want to make it super widespread, so you'll forgive me, but I'll teach you what you can do with that data. Let's see here. Question for Jusagi. Okay, so you'll see here. I've added some hidden fields here. I've used formulas to separate out the time, hour, and day of the week out of this time field here, right? So you can, if you use Excel formulas, you can figure this out pretty easily. I'm not going to show you, but once you figure that out, you can do some really cool stuff. And let me show you what that cool stuff is. Because if you go here on your pivot table, you can look at instead of looking at tweet type, you can use the row to look at, let's say, hour. Oh, look at that! You now can see average engagements by time of day. Holy moly! Isn't that crazy? So take a look at this. Man, the people who left are going to be so mad. Oops, that is the wrong button. I don't mean to do that. That may have broken something. No, it's fine. Okay, good. Rain, you missed the first part of this where it was all pivot tables. No, I don't want a line chart, you silly. You silly. So now I can see what time my best tweets perform at, right? So you might think, okay, well, that's not really fair because your networking threads are so high that it's going to skew the data. And you're right. So that's why we go down to filters and I've already removed them. I've already removed the networking threads and I've removed the purges. So this only counts real data. Isn't that exciting? You could also clear everything and you could just look at self-promo, right? So for self-promo, okay, we have to adjust this a little bit so that we're actually looking at the main ones. So we look at B7. 2 p.m. is a great time for self-promos this month. Interesting. I tweet way less in January than December, Rain. My Twitter numbers have gone down as I've debuted because I want to focus more on YouTube. So it's perfectly natural. I went hard in December because I had nothing else to do, right? So this is interesting information. This is for self-promo. But you could do it for any type of tweets. What is the best time for a PNG drop? Let's find out. I only did 3 PNG drops this year. Interesting. And I want to change this to B4. So, out of these 3, I mean, not enough data, honestly, but 6 p.m. seems to be pretty good for a PNG drop. You missed the part where I said I'm doing less PNG drops now because, like, I don't have the time for it. You did none. All right. So, last thing I wanted to show you. Get this out of the way. With the time of day, you can also do the same thing, right? Not time of day, with the day of week. Let's go and let's select everything again, but take out blanks, take out networking, and take out the purge. Boom. Now, want to sort that by average engagement descending. Look at that. Fridays are my best day. Fridays and Sundays are my best days to tweet. It's so simple. And now because I've removed the outliers and the stuff that was messing out my data, this is actual actionable stuff, right? This doesn't mean I'm going to stop tweeting on Saturday, but it does mean if I want to do a big announcement, I'm going to do it on Friday. Maybe I'll do it on Friday, like whatever my best time was. Here, let's just move this out of the way. Let's move this over here. And then let's take a look at the best time for everything. Select all. No blanks. No networking. No purge. And then we change this one to look over here. So we have our day chart here, and then we can do this chart as well. I shouldn't have deleted the other one, but whatever. Fridays, 4 p.m. That is my chef's kiss of my chef's kiss of times. That's where I'm going to be posting. If I have a really big announcement, let's like say, I don't know, the Gen 1 announcement, 4 o'clock PST on a Friday, that's probably when I'm going to tweet it. Because why wouldn't I? At least for January. This might change, a couple months down the line. This is PST, yes. This is my own personal PST. So you'll have to figure out the formula to do this on your own. But once you do, it's not that hard. I did it myself through Google. I'm not that good at Excel. You can get this information easily. All right. There you go. There's your little... oh, no. There we go. I hate how Twitter or OBS does that. That is your little secret bonus level of data. And that's basically all I do for the data dives for the consultations. I'm not worried about giving that away because I don't really want to do as many consultations because they take so much time. And I'd rather put that information into videos so that people can learn, right? And then they can, instead of doing a one-on-one. The consultation corp was never going to be heavily focused on one-on-one consultations as the primary thing anyways. I might still do a couple if people want to do, like, they want me to go through everything and do it for them. I'm happy to do that. Though the price will go up now as I'm out of time, but that'll still be available. But if I can teach you all how to do it on your own, that's even better, I think. I think we'll all improve as a community. I've been seeing a heck of a lot less engagement. I don't have time to do the deep dive at the moment. It's the last day of January, almost. Actually, is it the last day today? I don't remember how many days are in January. Nope, we still have one more day. Do it at the end of the month. Find some time on Sunday, or maybe next week, and then do all of January. Just do it once a month. It'll take you not that long. It doesn't take me very long. I mean, I did all of it on stream here, so it's almost all of it. So it shouldn't be more than an hour, and it will help you. It's not the wrong scene. The window capture latched onto the other Firefox window, which was the YouTube one. When are you opening more consultations? I'm still working through the list. There are still people I still haven't gone to, and it's horrible. I feel so bad, but I can only really do like 1 or 2 a week. I'm so busy now. Oh, thank you, Kamui. I'm glad you found value in that consultation. Like I said, a lot of it, for people who have done the consultation, you will recognize that a lot of it is what I talk about in my videos and in this stream, right? So it doesn't really feel fair to charge people or like to have a lot of consultation slots when the information's there. So, that's fine. All right. That's it. That's it for real. We're closing the elevator doors. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. You are my true fans. You are the true PogChamps. My little PogChamps, I guess. I guess. Hold on, can I make a happy? I can do that. That's kind of like an even more dejected, sad face. I think that's pretty cute. I like combining these emotes. They really work out well for me. or sad or angry eyes closed. All right. You're not a fan. That's gross. Yeah. That's fine. Rain, still love you. All right. See you guys later.